Growing up, my passion was practicing and competing in martial arts, and my heroes were Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. My first friend was my Chinese neighbor Day. My first girlfriend was a Korean named Kira, and my best friend was a Thai guy named Jack. In high school, I got into studying Eastern philosophy, meditation, yoga, Buddhism, and loved Chinese, Japanese, Indian, and Thai food. By the time I entered university, it had become apparent to me, and probably everyone else, that I just might be an Asian trapped in a Caucasian body. Back then it was the early 2000s though, so rather than affirming my inner identity through irreversible surgeries and confusing pronoun changes, I just decided to take a trip to Asia. During my junior year of college, my best friend Jack happened to be going home to Thailand for a month, and kindly invited me to come along. That month turned out to be a magical experience, as Jack and his family took me everywhere, from Bangkok to Chiang Rai, and introduced me to authentic Thai hospitality, culture, and cuisine. We ate some of the most delicious food I'd ever tasted, visited the most beautiful beaches I'd ever seen, and met some of the kindest people I've ever met. Jack took me everywhere from back-alley street food stalls to posh metropolitan malls, from amazing ancient temples to modern luxurious lounges and nightclubs. He introduced me to all his friends from school, and we played takraw in the park, swam in their condo pools, and jammed out at live concert venues. Needless to say, going back to my life in Maine, where snow falls 5 months every year, our cultural climax is the annual Clam Festival, and most people couldn't tell you the difference between Thailand and Taiwan, just wasn't going to cut it for me. So I spent the next 2 years, my final 2 years at the University of Maine, preparing for my eventual move out of the country. While in Thailand, I bought several Thai language books and tapes, and I began studying every day, writing down new words, repeating the pronunciations, and falling asleep every night listening to Thai translations. I listened to Thai music, watched Thai movies, and went to every Thai restaurant from Portland to Bangor. One day, while walking through the university cafeteria, Thai translation tapes still repeating in my mind, I overheard 2 gorgeous girls gabbing in a foreign language and recognized a couple words from my tapes. Quickly mustering confidence from months of talking to myself in a multitonal, monosyllabic language I barely comprehended, I turned to the girls' table and smoothly said, "Put Pasa Thai, chai mai?" Their Asian eyes opened as wide as they could, their painted eyebrows high-jumping their forehead, and lucky for me, they laughed and said, "Yes, you speak Thai?" They invited me to eat with them, and I learned that one of them was married to an American ESL teacher who was working there. All 3 of them soon became my good friends and kindly helped answer all my questions about moving, working, and living in Thailand. They all moved back to Bangkok before I graduated, but just 3 months after getting my diploma, having saved up all the money I could, and selling off everything I owned that didn't fit into 2 suitcases and a carry-on, I moved into a Bangkok apartment building right next door to them. I spent the first month there in a language school, getting my CELTA, Certificate in English Language Teaching to Adults, and then got a job teaching English at that same school. I later changed schools and spent several years teaching children, adults, and corporate gigs for Chulalongkorn University, before eventually quitting to teach private yoga and Wing Chun lessons for the next decade or so. At age 40, I had effectively spent half my life in Thailand, having moved there just before my 21st birthday, and only coming home once in those 20 years to visit. I loved the Thai people, culture, food, weather, the beautiful travel destinations, the affordable cost of living, and the calm pace of life. I now spoke fluent Thai, so much so that I would think and dream in Thai language just as often as in English. Having spent half of my life in America and half of my life in Thailand, I felt like I had effectively become a Luk Krung, a Thai word meaning a half Thai, half Westerner. I remember Jack telling me about his feeling of losing his own cultural identity after living in America for a long time. He would never be American enough to be seen as a Westerner. But back home, his lifestyle and sensibilities were now too Western to be regarded as a normal Thai. I could really relate to this feeling, because the longer I stayed in Thailand, the more I felt like I myself was Thai. But in reality, no matter how long I lived there, how fluently I spoke the language, or how well integrated I was into the culture, I would always be regarded and treated as the tall white foreigner. A mixture of this feeling and the fact that I had only been home once in 20 years culminated in my decision to finally move back to Maine and be with family for a while. Coming back to America, there was quite a bit of reverse culture shock, as I had grown accustomed to life, people, and the culture in Thailand. Little things seemed the biggest, like America's complete lack of bidets, also known as bum guns, a much more sanitary method of cleaning up after using the bathroom than crumpled up pieces of soft paper. All the public bathrooms in America also mysteriously have large gaps under and between the doors, so that anyone walking by can see you through the cracks. Needless to say, certain perspectives and expectations of mine had shifted, and the bathrooms were just the beginning. Americans seem very high-strung and stressed out compared to Thais. Political differences often escalate into personal problems, and everyone seems so busy they just don't have much time for you. There are very few third spaces or truly walkable places in America, and due to zoning laws, everything is separated by so many roads and parking lots that everywhere looks the same, and everyone is in and out of their cars more than they're actually at wherever they're going. Thailand certainly has its share of issues, like litter on beaches, haphazard electrical wiring, an unstable political climate, and inhumane prison conditions. But when all is said and done, I personally love life in Thailand, and prefer it to America. I will stay here in the States for several more years, as one thing you cannot find abroad is family, and the comfort of being surrounded by familiar faces. But ultimately, I plan on returning to Thailand to stay for good. I am now at peace with my destiny to be a misunderstood Luk Krung, not really at home in my home country, and not recognized at home when abroad. But to be honest, as a flat earther living in a spinning ball earther's world, I'm pretty used to it anyway.